Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Jeff Dye Friendship Podcast, episode 63, or as Bill Dwyer calls it, Jeff Dye's Good Ship Lollipop Podcast. Thanks for being on, Bill. We love you to death, man. You're hilarious. I've listened to it a few times. It was a very fun podcast. This week, me and Tony in the old think tank, just going back and forth. I feel like Tony don't get to talk sometimes on these, and he had a big week. I want to hear about E3. If you don't know what E3 is, it's like a big convention and expo for video games that are about to come out, and some that are already out, I think. I don't know. But for gamers, it's like their Super Bowl weekend. And so he went to that, had a good time. You get to hear about that. Also, I did a bunch of crazy stuff this weekend. Went to the Goo Goo Dolls concert, threw out another first pitch. We talk about that. If you guys are listening to this podcast, thank you so much. We have a huge announcement starting, I think, next week that we're excited to tell you about for this podcast. So stay tuned for that. And if you are listening on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, please. If you'd like to watch this podcast, go to patreon.com/Jeff Dye, and you'll get free Comedy Club tickets to all of my live shows in whatever city you come to for you and your guests. And you also get to watch this podcast each week. In the future, we're going to have secret episodes just for our membership people and little exclusive content. So go for that. It's $10 a month. It's fun. And your money goes directly towards making this podcast better. It costs money to do all this stuff, and so that's why we need your help. But we do love the Patreon subscribers that already are subscribed, and we really do love you guys and appreciate you guys. Other than that, enjoy episode 63. I've somewhat given up on trying to come up with pro athletes' numbers for each of these episodes. Now that it's so high, it's impossible to find a baseball player, a football, anybody that wore 63. So if you have a different idea of what we can find numbers for, shoot us those ideas, and we will consider them. And maybe we'll just do a thing like a number of significance. Like, does 63 make you think of anything? And we'll try to come up with that kind of idea. I don't know. Either way, we love you. Enjoy episode 63. Oh yeah. Another fine week. What'd you think of Bill Dwyer's episode?
It was fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He was such a silly guy. Hard. Like, I've listened to it a few times since. And I've only done that a few times on this since we've done the podcast.
Yeah, and I made a new best friend, Goon.
Yeah.
We got real close.
It was very gross.
Yeah.
A lot of humping, a lot of ass eating.
Yeah.
A lot of farting.
Yeah.
I think he pushed me back on wanting a dog for a little while.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. Because it was like Bill was talking about how much he farts and how he's got to pick up his shit, as he's talking about all that stuff.
Brought you back to reality a little bit.
Yeah, it made me go, maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Because when they're gone, you only think about the perks.
Right.
You only think about having a dog to come home to and sleeping with, and it's like having a girlfriend. You only think about the perks when you don't have it. Yeah. And then when you have it, you go, oh, this is why I... you start romanticizing about
freedom.
With a girlfriend you could break up. Yeah. You can't break up with a dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's like the dog just looks at you like, come on, man. We got to make this work for 18 years.
Yeah.
Or maybe longer. I don't know how long dogs live.
That's 18 years is a long time for a dog.
Is it?
Yeah.
10?
That's
standard?
Yeah.
Wait, dogs only live 10 years?
No, they can live longer. It depends. The different breeds, different times, and...
What about a French bulldog? How long do they live?
I don't know. Probably not super long.
Really?
The smaller dogs, I don't think, live as long.
Oh my gosh, what have we done?
I know.
This is not good.
It's tough, man.
This information is hard on my old ego.
It's tough.
Not ego, hard on my heart.
Yeah. And it's worse when they don't live to their life expectancy. Like I had a dog, it was a Borador. So it's half border.
Borador?
Yeah, half border collie, half Labrador.
You just trying to make up dogs for the listeners?
No, it's real.
All right.
And they're supposed to live, 18 years is like kind of the average. And we had to put them down to like 9. It was real sad. It came out of nowhere.
So you killed him.
Yeah.
He didn't just die.
No, he had cancer, man.
Oh, God.
And then we paid to have the surgery to because we wanted to. And then afterwards, the doc was like, yeah, he's not going to have a good life. He'll have like a week left. So we just
it's not worth that.
put him out when he was asleep.
So the doctor was just like, listen, you don't want to pay for this surgery.
No, we paid for it. We did the surgery because we wanted to save him because we loved him.
That doctor sucks.
It's just, it was too far gone at that point. Like they did this surgery and like they took out the cancer and everything. But once they like got him, like everything was done, they were just like, it's just not.
It's like Humpty Dumpty. They couldn't put him back all together again.
Yeah.
That's the saddest story I've ever
So
heard.
they're like, yeah, he could live like another week. So like, if you guys want to take him home and spend a week with him, and we're just like, he's already asleep. Just put him out.
Oh my
It was
God.
rough. And I didn't know.
How old were you?
This was not too long ago. This was I don't know, I was in my second year of college or something. And I didn't know it was that serious. So like when my dad, like he just like stopped eating, and which was rare, and he just was always like in your face, like the happiest dog in the world, and he just was moping around. We're like, what the fuck is going on? So then we got it checked out, and they're like, all right, yeah, so they're gonna, do surgery or whatever and keep him overnight. And I didn't even think anything of it.
Yeah,
Like I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then I woke up the next day with my dad on the phone with my brother, just crying. I was like, oh no! Like
your dad was?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And I was just like, no, because he was technically my older brother's dog. Like my older brother got him his senior year in high school, and then once he went to college and stuff, like, my parents kind of took over, and just kind of out of nowhere.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was rough.
This is a horrible way to start the podcast.
No.
It's Goon did this.
Yeah.
We both had fun weeks.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about.
Sure.
But nothing more should we talk about than the fact that you went to E3.
Yeah.
Your first E3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, E3 is short for Electronics 3.
Something
right?
like that.
Something.
It's 3 words.
What?
Electronic something expo.
Okay. And from the pictures, it's insane.
It was crazy.
It is a gamer's wet dream.
Yeah, and the whole time I was there, because I know that you were kind of like, I wish I could have been there.
I wish I would have went.
The entire time I was there, I was like, I'm so glad Jeff's not here. I do not think you would enjoy it.
Oh, really?
Because you love games. Like, you love to play games, but you're not a hardcore gamer.
Right.
You're not paying attention to what's coming out next. And like, I'll tell you like, oh, this game's awesome.
That's
like,
what's great about having you in my life. You go, check this out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I go, Tony, this game looks great. And you go, yeah, it comes out in 2021.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah. Or like when JC was here, it's like, oh, you should play Red Dead. And then that's when you got into it. Like you didn't even know what it was until. So like that's kind of your speed, which is great. This is for hardcore gamers because even me as a hardcore gamer, I was just kind of like
felt out of the loop.
No. It was just like, it's like Disneyland, right? Where they have demos for certain games and stuff. You get ready to wait 2.5 hours in line and you would not do that.
I wouldn't do that.
Exactly. So, because, you don't care about, like, you might like.
Just to play a demo.
Right. Like, you might like Luigi's Mansion 3 that's coming out on the Switch.
Right.
You might
I'm not going to wait 2 hours to play the first level.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Right.
And like, for me and my friends were like, yeah, let's get our hands on it. Cause, like, and especially now when it's an exciting time to be a gamer. Like, if you're into games from, like, I would say September 2019 to September 2020, the amount of games coming out is so overwhelming and like upsetting because I know I won't be able to play them all.
Oh, interesting.
Like there's so many things coming out. I
still haven't played God of War, which won like Game of the Year last year. I'm super behind it.
Yeah. And so like, for example, like in November, there's a game coming out on November 8th called Death Stranding, which is when Freddie was here, we were talking about Hideo Kojima and he puts his name a million times.
The Abercrombie and Fitch of game makers.
Yeah. So it's his next game, which is super intriguing. The next week.
You sent me the trailer for that.
Yeah.
And the trailer for the game, one, it has famous actors in it.
Yeah, Norman Reedus.
Keanu Reeves and Norman Reedus.
Not Keanu Reeves.
Oh, it's not?
Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen. He's the bad guy.
Keanu Reeves in a different game.
He's
then.
in Cyberpunk. Yeah,
That's why I got it confused.
Yeah.
So he sends me this trailer for a video game.
I'm like, you like weird stuff.
Yeah, in the beginning, I'm like, this is cool. And the game looks cool. It
Yeah.
also looks somewhat inspired by Fortnite, the way that they were, he pulls out a ladder out of his thing and he can just measure out the ladder.
Just that part, yeah.
Yeah, that part seemed whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
But anyways, the
Yeah.
game is phenomenal. It looks
Yeah.
so awesome.
Right, so that comes
But
out.
the trailer for the game alone was like 16 minutes or
Yeah,
something.
it was like 8 minutes long.
No, longer than that.
No, it was like 8 or 9.
Really?
Yeah.
That's still long.
Yeah, it's super long. It's like a short film. It's Kojima. He's, it's
Yeah.
weird. And this was like, we still don't even know what the game, this was the first
What's
one
about?
that gave us like even a little bit. We're like, okay, but it's still such a mystery. But I'm super intrigued by that. It comes out November 8th. And
Then
then,
it started with like a fetus, like,
yeah, it's so weird.
and then a man going, and then you
Yeah.
never see that guy again, and then
No.
a thing happens.
yeah, and Guillermo del Toro is a part of the game too. That's why it's super weird.
I love him.
But then the next week, the Star Wars game comes out. There's a new Star Wars game coming out. It's like a single player Star Wars Jedi
Saw
game,
that
which
online.
looks
Looks pretty
cool.
sweet.
Yeah, so that comes out the next week. I'm like, oh shit,
You're a Jedi who escapes
from Order
a
66.
Padawan who escapes.
Yeah. Order 66, when Anakin and them kill all the Jedi in
and
Episode 3.
he's-
Because it's a canonical game, so it's like a part of the, like it fits into the story. And like Forrest Whitaker is in the game.
Oh god, that guy
from
does it? He
from
looks like
Rogue
Guillermo del Toro made him.
One. Yeah. So that comes out, and then the next week, the next Doom comes out, which a lot of people
cool.
love. And that one's I didn't play the last Doom, so that would skip that one. But it's like 3 weeks in a row these major games come out, and then it just doesn't stop. Like,
Last time I played Doom, I was probably in 9th grade.
yeah,
That's the last Doom I know was
Yeah.
that. And you know what I hated about it? It looked like crap. It
Yeah.
looked very stupid. So I imagine 2019 might be the best time to get on board with Doom.
because they rebooted it. So it came out in 2017, 2016, I think, and it's like people are in love with it. Like it's
Really?
fast paced. It's like crazy.
And it does look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So
And there's a new Halo or something.
new Halo, but that's not going to come out until like end of 2020 when the next Xbox comes out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a launch title.
And I saw Luigi's Mansion. Like at E3, they made that whole room look like Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah,
which is
it
pretty
was
cool.
awesome. It was super fun. When I was playing that demo, it like glitched on me. Like I got stuck behind something that I couldn't move from, so I had to like restart the demo.
One game I'm very interested in that you sent me a trailer for was it's like it's like the original Zelda, but not. It's kind of like a modern Mario version of Zelda, where he's like going around. They look like little cutesy babies or whatever.
Oh yeah, Zelda's Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
So
yeah,
it was a Game Boy game that they've redone now
yeah.
on
So it's
Switch.
kind of like there's some Mario villains in it and stuff.
No,
No,
it's a Zelda game.
there's no like ghosts and stuff from Mario.
Mm-mm.
No. Well, whatever. It's still
Yeah.
like a bird's eye view,
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
cool.
top down.
When does that come out?
I think it comes out end of this year. So that's another one that's like,
So long. You sent me the trailer like forever ago.
I know. And that one I didn't get to play. They had the demo there, but the line for that was like 5 hours at
I
all
believe
times.
that, yeah.
Because it was crazy. And then
Lisa played it.
Lisa did. Yeah, I saw Lisa there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she pretty much was hanging out at the Nintendo. Because there's like 3 sections. There's like Nintendo was in one hall, another hall was a bunch of other stuff. Then Microsoft was in the Microsoft Theater by themselves. And luckily for us, my best friend Dane, who I do screen peekers with, his uncle works for Xbox, and
Cool.
he's like the project manager of this thing called Project X Cloud,
Yeah.
where it's cloud gaming, right? Where you won't need a console to play Halo or Gears of War or whatever. You can play on your phone, and it streams from their data centers right to your phone. And you can like Bluetooth a controller to it. So if you're on the bus, if you're on a trip, you can play. It's crazy. And luckily he was there. So how it worked, it took like an hour to get into the Microsoft Theater. You had to like wait in line for an hour. And then you would go up on stage to play the games. But
Right.
they'd only let a certain amount of people up at a time because they didn't want it to overcrowd. So you would sit in the theater and then they'd bring you up at a few at a time. He would just let us in the side door.
Nice.
So we got to go in. So like we only got to do as much as we did because of that. And we'd still only get to do like, we'd be there for
Limited
like
things,
10
yeah.
hours a day and we'd only get to do 3 things the entire day. Because it's like Disneyland. Like it's like
Right.
you're waiting in line. So
You're
without,
right. I wouldn't enjoy that.
no, you wouldn't. And without that perk, we would have,
Been pretty
barely got
regular.
to do anything. Yeah. So trying to think of what other games there's a new,
She got to play that Zelda game.
she did. Yeah. And she loved it. She's a big Zelda fan.
Yeah. Look at her body. She's
Yeah,
got tattoos
tattoos,
of
yeah.
Zelda all over.
There's a new Battletoads game.
Link. Oh, really?
And it was super fun, super hard.
Oh, it's hard.
The original one was super hard. So
Quick pause. My friend Josh Nelson came up for the weekend. For friend of mine. You've met Josh. He's
Yeah.
great. Sorry, I forget. He's done the podcast, so of course you met him.
Yeah,
but
we hung out in San Diego, and
he's so fun and so cool. One night we just drank a bunch, and so like we were feeling like dog crap the next day, with like the Goo Goo Dolls concert and all that, which we could talk about later. And then the next day we're kind of like just lounging around, and he's like, I think I'm gonna take a nap. So he goes downstairs. I put on Cuphead, right? Dude, I've never beaten a single level at that once. Anytime I beat a level is because I was in like dual player mode.
Yeah.
And Aaron did all the heavy lifting.
Someone's carrying you.
Yeah, and the second that I would die, Aaron would go save my thing, and then I would be like, get to like live for a little longer and then die again or whatever. And then Aaron would maybe complete the level, and I'd be like, hey, we did it.
Yeah, right.
Never have I done it on my own. I beat 3 levels in a row on my own.
Nice.
Yeah, that's insane.
Proud of you.
Getting good at video games.
Yeah, dude.
I think it's all this Red Dead and Spider-Man and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, just want to tell you that progress.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I went from never beating a level on Cuphead to beating like 3 things in a row.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. The biggest thing that I was excited for was Final Fantasy VII, like the old one. They've remade it. So it's like, because that game came out in like 99 or something. And it's called Final Fantasy VII Remake, and they changed the combat. It's not turn-based, because I know you don't even like Pokemon, like that turn-based.
I didn't know that that Final Fantasy was turn-based till this weekend.
Yeah.
And then my Uber driver, whoever I was talking to, was like, yeah, they're making one that's not turn-based. And I was like, those other ones were turn-based? And they're like, yeah.
So they're turn-based, and then
let's tell the viewers what turn-based means.
So it's like it's kind of like a tabletop game, like Dungeons and Dragons kind of style.
It's like a card game on your TV or your Nintendo. So it's the first time I ever saw it was when we played Pokemon on Super Nintendo, but the South Park game for PlayStation is like that.
Right.
Basically what happens is like it'll be like a guy versus a guy, and then it'll give you these questionnaires like, hey, do you want to punch him in the face? You want to kick him in the leg?
Yeah.
You want to knee him in the stomach? Or you want to shoot him with a gun? And you pick one. You say, go ahead and shoot him with a gun. And then you just put down the controller and you watch to see what happens when he shoots him with the gun. So, like, he used a gun blocker. It worked when you punched him in the face. So you're just choosing, and then the thing does a thing, which I don't like, but some people love.
Yeah, not your style. Yeah, I'm not in love with them. There was one that came out last year on the Switch that made by the same company who makes Final Fantasy, who added a different element to it where, because, it's like a strategy type thing. Right, so when you're fighting people, the one that I like is called Octopath Traveler, and
I don't like it because I'm a control freak.
Yeah,
I want to be doing it.
Right. The cool thing that I liked about this new one was they each had a weakness. So like one of your character has a sword, another character has an axe, another character can shoot lightning or whatever.
Ooh.
And the enemies have weaknesses. And if you use a weakness against them, they have this number. It starts at like 5. It'll go down to 4. And then if you hit them again, it'll go down to 3. And once it goes to 0, now they can't attack you for a turn. So it's kind of like added strategy to it. Regardless, I know it's not your thing. This one,
well, I mean, that's same with the one on the Pokemon.
Sure.
You'd be like, oh, he's not affected by fire.
Right. So Final Fantasy, their last Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 15, was their first like action adventure game.
Nice.
So, but it felt people weren't in love with it. Now,
because they changed to what their original thing was.
Yeah, and the combat was just not great. Now this one, I got to play this demo, and I was so excited for it because we didn't know what the combat was like until they had their press conference the weekend before, and we actually got to see it. So I was super excited about it. Got our hands on it, and it's really cool because it's action adventure. So it's like God of War when you're like fighting people, but then you build up this meter, and when you build up your like special meter, then you can like freeze time and then choose a move. So it still has turn-based for a second, and it's not turn-based where it's like now you got to wait your turn, but it's like you build up this meter, then it slows down time so you can pick a move like you would normally do in Final Fantasy and do like a special move, and then it does it, and then you keep fighting. And
I'm glad. You know what's funny is when I found out that Final Fantasy has been turn-based this entire time, I was actually a little relieved.
You didn't miss out on anything.
Because I haven't missed out on anything that I wouldn't like.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching the commercials for Final Fantasy like as a teenager and being like, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Because they would always show like this cinematic kind of beautiful thing.
Right. But the game for you at E3, if there was one game that I'd say like, oh, this is going to be a Jeff Dye game, it's the one with Keanu Reeves, Cyberpunk 2077.
Really? What is the, is it Like kind of like Red Dead where you walk around and stuff?
It's going to be open world like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be big open world. No loading screens. Like it's just like constantly like
Nice.
yeah, it's great. I don't know how they're going to pull that off, but it's just like
Yeah.
it's just always continuous and it's like futuristic though, which I think you'll like the I don't know. Did you see that trailer? Like you saw because you knew Keanu Reeves was in the game.
Yeah.
That was a big surprise.
I didn't see the trailer.
Yeah.
There was some funny thing that a girl comedian did where it said like Keanu Reeves. She intentionally picked bad photos of him when he was young, and then really handsome photo of him as he got older, including like photos from John Wick and stuff. But it went year.
Yeah.
And then it got to like the future when that game is supposed to take place, and it had a picture of Keanu Reeves, and it's like, people say you get worse looking with age, but like it only showed him getting like better looking, which I thought was hilarious.
So yeah, you'll enjoy that. That game comes out in April.
Nice. What's it called?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk. I like that they're putting celebrities in games now.
Yeah.
It's like now it's like not like you could be like, that game was pretty good, but I'm not crazy about Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
That has never been a thing.
Yeah.
Now it's happening.
Yeah, there's an Avengers game coming out in May.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Which
So
I'm excited
famously,
about.
in my opinion, the Star Wars games have always sucked.
yeah, there hasn't been a lot of good ones.
We downloaded one for the Xbox and played it
Battlefront.
and it was just boring.
So this
I
one
didn't recognize any of the characters.
yeah, so this one is going strictly against what that was. So cuz that was like just a multiplayer kind of shooter.
It's so first person. Like I can't see myself.
And this one is a third person adventure, single player only. You get to be a Jedi. It's like Uncharted for Star Wars, I think, or like Tomb Raider for Star Wars.
So I just decided next year I'm doing E3, but you guys, you and your boys, you go to the
You just want to walk around and be a part of it.
Well, no, I'll go to the parties at night.
Yeah. Well, you don't even have to
do that.
Yeah, you don't even
You
have to
guys
go
have
to E3.
fun.
Yeah.
And have some coffee, write some jokes.
Yeah.
I'll pop in, wait with you guys in line
It's
for a
pretty
little
cool.
while.
Like it's just to be
I
there.
love lines though. I should say that. I'm a good line guy
But
because I get to
You're-
talk, tell
here's-
stories, and goof off.
well, here's the thing. This audience,
Yeah.
they don't want to talk because they're not used to being talked to. This is these gamers, because what you are when people
Yeah.
are like, no, kill that guy.
Yeah.
That was me this whole week.
Really?
And I'm not even really like that. Like I'm
Right.
like, you're a 10, I'm like a 4 when it comes to that. But
But there you were a 10. For those people, you were a 10.
we were in line for a game. And it's just me and my 2 buddies, and 2 of my other buddies are doing something else. And like it's like an hour and a half line. So I'm just kind of sitting there and I'm loud. Like I'm always just loud.
Yeah.
And we're just having fun or whatever. And there's this kid behind me who's by himself. And I'm just like, oh, well, let me just talk to this kid. You know, he's by himself. I want to be friendly. And he's wearing some shirt. And I'm like, hey, is that from Resident Evil? He's like, oh, no, it's from Dark Souls. I was like, oh, cool. I was like, that game's really hard. Did you play it? Did you beat it? He's like, yeah. He just wants the conversation to end. I'm like, what did you play about the second one? Did you beat the second one? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, you're a legend. Like, I'm trying to be nice to him. And he's just
Try to take interest in something he's interested in.
never had a conversation with a human before in real life. And then I said something else and he just the same thing. I was like, all right, man, cool. And I just turned around and just like, that's not going to happen.
Right.
5 minutes later, he's not in line anymore. I think I scared him out
Oh,
of
no.
I know. And I was like, did I bully this kid? Like, I
in
didn't.
his mind, he is.
Yeah, and I was like, I was just trying to be super nice. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, like,
But you did the
these
right
are
thing.
these are my people. Like,
Nothing to feel ashamed about.
yeah, I was like, I love games. I was so happy to be there.
So you know, in the place, I don't know where E3 was, but there is
Convention
a place
Center.
called Blizzard or something that's across from Commissary in Burbank.
they have an arena. That's where they do the Overwatch League.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what's going on over there, but I see lines. I
Yeah.
see, and when I used to go to that coffee shop every morning, I'd always be like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
I'm just like always looking over, like, "What? I want to know what that." Like a young boy looking at like the junior high guys, like, "I wonder what they're doing." You know? And so finally one day I just was in line at Commissary, and a bunch of them walked over, and they were getting coffee. Like they must have been waiting for something. So I just go, "Hey, what's over there?" Like I always look over there. I don't know what's going on, and they were all like you kind of said, like,
Yeah.
why is this guy talking to us?
Yeah.
Like, should we reply? And then finally, like, one of like the girls was like, it's Overwatch League. And I was like, I know, but I don't know anything about that. Like, what is that? And I think they're like, oh, this guy's going to make fun of us or say
Yeah.
stupid. And I was like, no, genuinely, I just would love to know like what it is. It's like, I'm into games. I got to like kind of like give them some, like,
Get
you know,
on their
give them
level a
my
little bit.
credits. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I love games. I
Yeah.
love that kind of stuff. You know, like, what is it? And then once those doors kind of opened, they were so nice.
Yeah.
They couldn't believe that I was like being like, oh, I love that. And that
Yeah.
sounds like something fun. Can I buy tickets? And they were like really, really nice. But
not
super nerds.
And not all my experiences were like that. There was times when we'd be in line, like we were playing Luigi's Mansion. There was a kid behind us who was by himself, and we became friends with him.
Yeah.
The voice of Mario was there.
I heard that the voice of Luigi was there too.
He's the same guy.
Yeah. Oh, same guy.
Same guy. And like, so he like walked through line, like he signed pictures and
Oh,
gave them
cool.
to
Yeah,
us.
I heard he's a sweet
we,
guy.
we have like a selfie with him, and
Did he do the impression? Or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah. He'd be like,
did
"Woohoo!" Like,
did it
yeah.
sound just like it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
And
I don't know if maybe they tweak it in the studio or something. Or
yeah,
no,
he's-
microphone. It sounds
He's been
better.
doing it for like 30. This guy,
Yeah.
he's incredible.
And good for Nintendo for giving the same guy that I imagine
Yeah,
could have
yeah,
found
yeah.
other people to do that.
And so that was pretty cool. And then that same guy, so for Final Fantasy, they did it the right way, where they had like tickets. You had to go get a ticket to do that demo. So like we were in line at like 8:45. The doors open at 9 on the last day, and we ran straight to that booth to get to play Final Fantasy. And like right when the doors opened, we went straight there, and we almost didn't get a ticket. That's how
Really?
quick it was going. Our ticket was for like 2 to 3 p.m. And we got there like 9 a.m. Like that's how quick, because they had hour
Yeah.
every time. So we met this guy in the Luigi's Mansion line, and he ended up getting a ticket for that same time, 2 to 3. So, oh, dude, yeah, come with us. We'll go to Final Fantasy together too. And so it was really, so that we did meet some friends there, but yeah, there was some. The way you're chatty Cathy in lines,
Yeah, not where
you
you're
would
gonna
not
go.
find a lot of friends. Like people are just like, especially like I'm trying to like mess around with the people that like keep you in line, like the employees and stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and they're just standing all day.
They're all annoyed.
They're not having it either. Like I'm trying to.
Ugh, I would hate that.
Not all the time, but most of the time. Now the Final Fantasy one, dude, that whole experience.
Here's another thing though. My chattiness wouldn't go over as well there. Only simply because what you're explaining.
Right.
But now add the layer that I don't know what I'm talking about in those things.
Exactly.
They're going to be like, why?
Fuck this guy.
The most talkable guy I already hate.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what the fuck I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the Final Fantasy line, you get once because you get a ticket, and then so you're not waiting in line all day.
Mm-hmm.
So once it's your time, you can get in line, and they have people checking your tickets, but they're in character
Oh, cool.
for the game.
That's pretty cool.
And they're like these like rude women, and I was like, I fell in love with this girl.
Oh, really?
She was like in a suit, and she's like,
Get her.
I was holding a thing for another game, and then she like does like bits with you, and like,
Oh, I love
she's
that.
like, I don't think you should carry that in here. That might get you in trouble, and like stuff. I was like,
Oh, I
oh,
love that.
I'm looking for trouble.
Did you get her number?
No,
That reminds me of Star Wars Land.
they didn't pay her enough.
A
Though.
lot
She
of
was-
the things you're talking about remind me of Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
There was some phenomenal actors there.
Yeah.
This one woman like did like this whole shtick with like a little girl. It was so perfect.
Mm.
She was rude to the little girl, but like the little girl had like what was in on it. Like
Yeah.
that's how well she was doing it. She was
Uh-huh.
like, I believe that you are dressed like you are rooting for the rebellion, like or like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And every way she talked about it was like so like perfect. And she's like, listen, young lady, you will not be tolerated in that outfit.
Yeah.
And she's like, do you know where the spy is? And like, just she was just doing this really great thing with kids, and the kids were like getting it. But also, what reminds me of Star Wars Land is that you said you went straight there and you still almost didn't get a ticket.
Yeah.
So I went to Disneyland at 6 a.m. to go to Star Wars Land. I get there, we do the thing, we finally get checked in, we get our wristbands. Now it's like 6:30. We got there at 6. We left my place at like 5 or like 4:45 because I had to pick up Davo in Santa Monica and then drive. We get there at 6, parked, ready to get in. They let us in at 6. We walk over to this place. We're all checked in and we got our bracelets by 6:30. Park doesn't open till 8. So now we're chilling from 6:30 to 8. We get like some breakfast burritos and we just hanging out with each other. And we wait in this big glob. It's not even a line. It's just a big blob of people. And when that opens, they let us all walk all the way across the park. So from the bottom southeast corner all the way up to the northwest corner of the park, which is where Star Wars Land is. And now we have to wait for that gate to open.
Yeah.
And so now it's just like, it's so stressful, whatever. The second they open that, we figure there's a cantina, which is where they serve alcohol and like lunch and dinner. There's a ride that has 3 different positions you can be in. You can be a gunner, an engineer,
Right.
or a pilot. So you could ride that 3 different times and have 3 totally different experiences, which is cool. And then there's a place that you need an appointment for to make like a lightsaber or an R2D2 droid, or just a droid. Trying to think. There's some other stuff. So we think, well, naturally, let's go to the ride first. The line will be short. We can just get on that ride. We'll be one of the first people to ride the ride. I don't need lunch. It's early in the morning. We'll go to the cantina last. So when we get there, everybody's just going to the cantina. Everybody. Hundreds and hundreds of people. The line was so long. They're like, that's strange. So we just go to the ride. We go on the ride. We ride. It was really awesome. It was such a fun experience. We get off. We're like, well, let's just see what's going on with the cantina. We go over there and they're like, oh, it's closed for the rest of the day. We're like, what do you mean? They're like, all those people that lined up who came in first, like they got reservations. They all put in their times.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're going to Star Wars Land, go to the cantina first. You might even have to wait in line to just later come back to the cantina.
Right.
But some people must have known that information and nobody told us.
Yeah, that's because we didn't know that at E3 until like the first day. We were like, all right, it was like kind of later in the day because we went and saw his uncle at Xbox and we were doing that. And we went back to the main hall, like, all right, let's go play Doom, the new Doom. Or let's play. And they're like, oh no, everything's closed for the day. We're like, what? There's still like 6 hours. Like, yeah, you got to get an appointment or whatever.
It's so fun.
So we were like, oh, all right, we'll do it the next day. And then
you figured it out.
Yeah, but then even then we didn't know that we had to like right when the doors open, you go get your ticket because they get the appointments all day. So we're like, all right, we'll go like the first like 2 hours we can go here and then we'll go and they were already out. We're like, what the fuck? So then
stupid.
the last day we're like, all right, I'm playing Final Fantasy. So like the night before we were like game plan. All right, this is what we'll do. Then we'll go to Luigi's Mansion. If that's line's too long, we can audible and go here.
Nice.
So like we kind of had a game plan. And,
that's good.
And it worked out, but.
So that's your advice for people that are going to E3 is like have a strategy.
Yeah, have a strategy. And I had an industry pass because I was there with Collider.
Right.
Which is a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Didn't see him the whole time.
Really?
Like I got there the first day with them. I went because industry, you get in 3 hours early before if you buy a pass.
Yeah.
Which is great because that we're going to write stories. We're going to make videos about them. So they want us to get a chance to play everything. I get there with, I'm saying, I don't care. The president guy.
Yeah.
He's there because, he's from gaming and everything. But he doesn't want to do anything. He wants to try to get into like Ubisoft's lounge where like the people are and like, bump elbows and stuff like that. I'm like, well, am I here to cover this event for you or not? Because they just wanted to walk around the convention. And I was like, I want to play stuff. I want to get in line. And so like after like 2 hours of hanging out with them, my buddies were about to be in. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go play some stuff. Text me if you
want me to do anything.
Yeah. If you have an appointment for something, like if we're going to go check out a game or whatever, just text me, let me know. I'm going to go do some stuff. And then my friends were coming in, didn't text me all day.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm having fun with my friends. I'm doing everything. So then that night at like 7 p.m., I text the guy, one of the guys that is there. And I was like, hey, what's the plan for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Because I was like, maybe we'll try this again.
Yeah.
Didn't get a response until like 8 a.m. the next day. It's like, hey, we're meeting at 9. And we're going, I'm like, nope. Nope. I texted you last night. Like, you don't know. I'm getting there at noon and I'll see you. Let me know if you need anything. Didn't hear anything all day.
Really?
So then the third day, I was just like, I was like, hey, I'm going to be there. Just if you got anything, you need anything, just let me know. Nothing. And then like it was 1:55. I had my Final Fantasy reservation for 2 to 3. So we are going to go at 2. And I get a call like, hey, like in a panic. Like, hey, we have an Oculus appointment at 2:30 that we don't have anyone to go. Can you go to it? I was like, no, sorry, I'm doing Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I have one at 4 to 5. I can give you mine if you can go. I was like, no, I got to leave right after this. Like, I just lied because I was like, no, like,
So weird.
Yeah, they
haven't you done Oculus? We did Oculus.
Yeah, I've done. So but this is the thing with what Collider's doing, and I don't know why this turned into like a roast session, but it's not. But they're really focused on VR. That's what they want to do. Their games channel, it's not going to really grow, I don't think, at the pace it's at. And it's funny, I've even seen people in the comments saying this. I was like, because we've pitched ideas to them.
Yeah, I don't know what their hesitation is.
I've pitched ideas to them because of content that I'm adding onto my own channel that I was like, hey, like if we want to do like a cross promotion thing, like I'll do it all. Yeah. But like, here's a video that I can put on your channel like once a week just to get more content. And all it is a podcast and then just like random news stuff. But guess what? People are going to go to Kind of Funny, Greg Miller for that stuff. People are going to go to IGN for that stuff. So it's never going to grow. And they're focused on VR because they're getting into VR. They're actually making a Twin Peaks VR game, which is really cool. Yeah. But that's what they're using this channel for. So it's just kind of
I just couldn't believe how much different fit. I love Jack and Christian and all the people that are over there, but like how many times we'd be like, hey, we would like to do this. And then they were like, bah, like instead of just saying they're disinterested, I believe they really are interested, and they just don't. They're not organized. They just don't know what they're doing.
And again, it's because I think that games channel is not what it appears to be right now. It's kind of like, hey, let's build something, and then when we do this VR stuff, we already have a name, Collider Games or whatever. So it's just a business thing, and
we're gonna do our own stuff, man.
Take our good ideas elsewhere. Yeah.
Which remind me, after this, I got an idea about. Yeah. It's not about games though. It's about wrestling. Yeah. It reminded me.
But I'm very thankful that they got me in with a pass. There were so many people there for industry. I realize it's probably not that hard to get industry passes. So, because it's not like if you're an industry affiliate, you get invited by someone. So like Collider, we got our passes from Microsoft. Like Microsoft invited us. So I'm like, well, I have an in at Microsoft. So next year my thing could say Screen Peekers, hopefully. And we can get industry passes. You can get.
I have a hookup at Microsoft.
And
remember? That's how I got the Xbox. That's how we got get the game downloads and all that.
Yeah. So it's like, because if we're a real channel and then we get invited, then we get an industry pass. So next year, hopefully it'll say Screen Peekers on there, and that'll be a cool feeling. So
let me write 2 things down. You can edit this part out as well.
I'm not gonna. I want the people to see the concentration on your face. But all in all, it was fun. I was exhausted. I had to go to work the next day without I wish I had a day to recoup, because I probably walked 15 miles, those 3 days.
Yeah, it's a lot of walking and stuff.
But a lot of games. I'm so excited. It makes
how
it makes me
physically
sad.
fit you have to be to do all the things that are the most enjoyable in the world.
Yeah.
So a lot of people want to talk shit about eating right or eating healthy or fitness people or whatever. Think about it though. If you love video games, you should be in somewhat of good shape to do a thing like E3.
Oh,
it's a lot of walking, a lot of standing, a lot of blah,
my
blah.
fucking back hurt.
Yeah.
I was and I'm
Let's say you're into Star Wars.
doing yoga.
Let's say you're into Star Wars. Star Wars land is a pretty exhausting thing. A lot of waiting, a lot of standing. Let's say you're into music. Good luck going to Coachella.
Yeah.
If you're not in some sort of good shape. It's a whole day. It's 13 hours of just walking around in heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was rough. But yeah, it was fun. I'm so excited for it's every month there's another big time game coming out. I'm just oh my God, I'm not going to be able to afford it, and I'm not going to be able to have enough time to
that's
play
not
it.
true, man. I think if we build something big enough, get things cooking, they'll just send us these games.
Yeah, hopefully.
It would be like a dream to just whatever.
Yeah.
I want to set up that Twitch deck over there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get it going.
Yeah. Twitch people, come Twitch with us.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But you had a big week too.
I did. I had 2 really fun things that I got to do. Well, 3 technically. West Palm Beach, Florida was incredible. If you came to those shows, thank you so much. Man, I love West Palm Beach. That club is so phenomenal and so nice inside. And
That's the Improv, right?
Yeah, it's an Improv, but it's also an outdoor shopping mall, in a tropical kind of area. So lots of the clubs I do are in malls.
Yeah.
And every comic jokes about it. And it's ugh, but it's nice to be in a mall.
Yeah.
There's things to do. There's things to eat. There's a coffee shop. I don't hate it as much as I pretend to joke around and poke fun at it. But this one's even better because it's a good outdoor shopping mall, in a tropical thing that's walkable from our hotel. And the hotel's this dope ass pool. It's Florida, so it's good. West Palm Beach. Great. I said all that. Yeah, so that was good. But then on Sunday, I got to throw out the first pitch for the Marlins. My 5th first pitch. I'm very excited. 25 more to go.
Yeah.
But got to meet Billy the Marlin, who has undergone some plastic surgery, it appears.
Yeah.
And I even joked with him too. I said, Billy, man, I'm loving the nose job. And the guy that my liaison or whatever, the guy who was in charge of me, he was oh shit. He was and then Billy the Marlin acted like he was laughing, because Billy the Marlin used to be different color and all this different stuff. And he had a big, long marlin nose, like a swordfish almost. Yeah. My guess is that it was if you're leaning over to hug kids all day.
Yeah, it's a hazard.
It's a hazard.
It's a liability.
Mixed with it's probably when he turns real sharp, he might be hitting people's backs or not hitting his own. Yeah, it's a little. So he now has a shorter nose that goes up, which is very weird. And a lot of people on the internet hate it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's still a cute Marlin.
Yeah, what do you want?
Billy the Marlin. Who's
Fucking back off, guys.
He also knows all the dances.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who's in that costume, but kudos to Billy the Marlin. He knew every Fortnite dance. He also knew this. There's a new song by Blanco Brown. Let's see. I'll play it for you guys. This is going to be the song of the summer. I'm predicting it. It's so good. And I know that you tried to get me into this one guy, the
Old Town Road,
Old Town Country Road or whatever. I get it now. This song is so catchy. Oh no.
Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Put a hoe down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't
Do you think he made the song because of the other one?
Yes.
And he was like, oh, I can make a popular song.
Let's have some fun. To the left now. To the right. Now take your left hand and put it on your side. Put it on your side. Gonna roll your shoulders. Do the slip and slide. This next part's my favorite part of this time to shine. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy.
There's a new thing happening, folks, and it's black artists pandering to cowboys and white country fans.
Yeah.
Some say cultural appropriation, but you know how I feel about cultural appropriation. I think it's horse shit.
Yeah.
I love that this music is happening.
Right.
I think it's so fun. I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
great.
so great. And this guy, Blanco Brown, we would love to have you on the podcast. I think your song is phenomenal.
Yeah, dude, it's
and
awesome.
because I'm being so into this, it makes me also understand Old Town Road, and makes me like, I'm kind of now into that, like a little late to the party, but I'm feeling that. Also, you can confirm this for me because I'm not positive, but I asked my buddy Greer, and he said it's 100% true that Old Country Road or Old Town Road is inspired by Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. So
Or not confirmed?
I don't know if it's inspired.
Alleged.
I don't know if it's inspired by, but when he first released the song, because this guy wasn't a famous guy or whatever,
Right.
he put his song on like clips of Red Dead Redemption, like
So
as a visualizer.
Right, so he definitely...
Yeah. And then so
there was that marriage of those
Sure.
two things
Sure.
in the beginning.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
That makes me like it 1,000,000 times more.
Yeah.
Because I do think that game made me love country.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never liked cowboy stuff, and then I played that game. I was like, I love cowboy stuff, and it's just a perfect coincidence that the Ballad of Buster Scruggs came out at like kind of the same
after,
time
yeah.
when I was playing Red Dead, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
all this country stuff came out at the same time that I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
and so I like it.
Yeah.
I like that it's happening. Blanco Brown, that guy right there, not famous yet, but he's going to be.
gonna
that
be.
song's gonna crush it.
It's on the top 10
it is?
of like hits this week or whatever, which
He has
is
like 4,000 followers on
exactly,
Twitter or something.
but that's
yeah.
what happened with the other guy, because the
Yeah.
other guy's been number one for 11 weeks now.
Yeah.
And he was just a
Well, let's
kid.
get Blanco Brown on the pod.
Let's do it. He
Where
retweeted
does
you.
he live?
He retweeted
Yeah, I
you.
know, right away.
So jump in on it. Send him a DM, dude.
Trying to figure out where he lives.
I don't know. He'll be in LA sure enough, because the other guy he's in LA now,
Dude, he's so good.
because he's going to sign a record deal, and then he's going to,
I'm excited.
But the other one, he made the song Old Town Road, and then that got popular, and then they did the remix with Billy Ray Cyrus, and that's the one that like is going crazy now.
Oh, that's how it happened. They brought in Billy Ray.
But the first one was already popular. People
Okay,
already
that's
knew
good to
that.
know.
But then they brought in Billy Ray, and it just set it over the top.
That's interesting. Well, I don't know. Oh, so this guy even knew that dance. Billy the Marlin even knew that dance.
Oh wow.
The get up. He was like doing like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right. And I don't know. I'm gonna presume it was a young person that's in Billy the Marlin, and not like all the other mascots have been there for like 20 years or
Right.
30 years, and they're like men who have all these things. But Billy the Marlin knew, like, I was like, do you know any Fortnite dances? And then he just started doing all
Because
the
I feel
Fortnite
like
dances.
I feel like back in the day, mascotting was like clowning. And now it's less that. Now it's like the dances and stuff like that. I feel like maybe.
Not in Major League Baseball as much.
Well, for Billy the Marlin.
For Billy.
Yeah.
Well, and also there's a new team.
Yeah.
Or it's not a new team. He's a new mascot.
Yeah.
The team is not, like, the Phillies have been around much longer than the Florida Marlins.
Yeah.
So Tom Bergonia has been the mascot for
Yeah.
freaking 35 years, when the Marlins have only been around for what, 1994? What would that be? 30
93.
years?
Yeah. 94. Yeah.
Oh wait, so Tom Bergonia's probably been in it for like 40 something years.
Probably.
That's insane. but it was really fun. I threw a bad pitch.
Did you?
Confession. I didn't warm up or anything. They didn't let me. There was no place to warm up. The Diamondbacks, the Mariners, everywhere's like, let me warm up.
You threw it in the dirt. You threw it up high.
I threw it outside, and Billy the Marlin was one who caught it. I asked for him to catch it, and
Do you think they hate that?
What?
Like, hey, can I get Billy the Marlin? He's like, all right, but he's like, really? He's like, fuck.
No,
because he probably can't see well.
No, I think that the mascot's happy to do it.
Nice. Okay.
I think the players hate it.
Well, yeah.
Adam Ray threw out the first pitch yesterday.
Yeah.
And
Dylan Moore.
It looked like he hated him.
Yeah.
It looked like,
and then he like jumped on him at the end. He's like,
yeah. That's what I think he hated. He was like, why is this?
Yeah.
When I threw it to the Mariners, I threw it to Casper Wells.
Yeah.
And I launched it over the backstop, and he was like, all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think these players are like, what? Like, yeah, Adam hugged that guy way too long.
Yeah.
That guy did not like that.
Yeah, no.
So my point is,
but he's a comedian.
It's a mascot. The mascot loves that I'm going to give him a big stupid hug.
Yeah.
The mascot loves that I'm going to do some shtick. Plus, I think the mascots, and this is my presumption, I think they also want the attention. They want like someone. I think that they get.
You just like to throw fastballs though.
I think they get ignored.
So I'd be nervous trying to catch with I can barely see, and then
that's true.
And then the Twins had the big giant glove.
Well, they all do. They all have big giant.
Which is like it's so hard to catch.
I know.
And you're throwing a fucking Nolan Ryan Express at him.
Well, I also selfishly think it's a bigger target. So like I'm aiming for this giant thing. So I'm just gonna like whiz it at that because as opposed to like. What if I throw it in the dirt
you gotta paint
and it's
corner.
like a relief pitcher or something and like it's going to pop up and hit him in the leg or the balls or something? I don't want that.
Yeah, it's true.
There's also it doesn't matter what I do, the mascot is going to come off like likable. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Hits Billy the Marlin in the face. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll be funny. I'll be at Sports Center that
But I had a
night.
really good time. I threw a bad pitch. That park is really cool.
Yeah.
And it completes that I've been to every Major League Baseball stadium. Could check the list. I went to every park now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a game at every park. I still need Baltimore.
Baltimore, yeah.
And I feel like there's one more. Kansas City.
But you just did that, didn't you?
Kansas City? No, Kansas City's next month.
Next month, okay.
But Kansas City will be just like Miami, where I'm finally going to get to see a game there and throw a first pitch. So that's double. That day is going to be very overwhelming, kind of like this was.
Yeah.
Because I took a tour of Kansas City Park, Kauffman Stadium, 3 times. And every time I've taken a tours, it's been snowing and or raining.
Yeah.
And super cold. And like usually doing stuff to like remodeling something.
I don't want to put this into the air,
What?
but I'm just generally curious.
Yeah.
What if it like rains the day you're there?
I've thought about that.
Game gets canceled.
So I'm sure they would just send me a new date to do it again.
Or they're just like, yeah, sorry.
That'd be the worst.
Yeah, that's that's why
I've had that fear.
I don't want to put that
because
in
like, Miami, it was rain. It was like a storm, like a tropical storm.
Yeah, they got a roof though.
But they have a roof.
Yeah.
They didn't always. Or
Yeah.
maybe they have.
The new stadium does.
No,
Their
but
old stadium didn't.
didn't. Yeah. But
So
yeah.
that was a football stadium.
And I was thinking about that on the drive down. We were driving through the storm, Googling like, hey, does Marlins Park have a roof? And then we're like, yes, thank God. It's going to happen no matter what. But like that, I have those fears.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If I miss a flight, because I'm on an airplane all the time. And so if I miss a flight, I'm so chill about it. You should see me. Like the people are always like, oh, wow, you're taking this really well. I was like, it's okay.
There's another
You-
flight.
Yeah, you can't change things. And, I'll be there tomorrow or whenever you can get me there. However, I have nightmares about missing a flight, like to throw out a first pitch. You know, or like, that would break my heart if hey, Jeff couldn't make his flight and, he can't do I would be so devastated.
Yeah.
So what if I do get there, everything's going well, and then it just starts raining. Like, Same happened with Minnesota. The Twins. That game was 2 hours delayed for rain before I threw out the first pitch.
Oh boy.
The night before, the game was like 2 hours delayed for rain. And then when they started the game, nobody was even there. It was probably me and like 150 other people.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I was alone in a poncho.
Yeah.
But I had nothing to do. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't know anyone in Minneapolis. So I just went to the game. Marlins. Oh, and then the other big thing that happened besides West Palm Beach and besides the Marlins game, I went to the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, how was that?
Big shout out to my man Steve getting me tickets as a Goo Goo Dolls manager. I took
Santa
Josh
Barbara,
Nelson
right?
to the Santa Barbara Bowl. Watched the Goo Goo Dolls slay it for a bunch of indifferent old people. Dude, people were so lame. Like there was like no one standing. Everyone just sitting there watching, like confused. And then because they weren't even the headliners. Goo Goo Dolls were opening for Train.
Oh.
So I'm standing I'm drinking and I'm shouting the lyrics to every song. Yeah, that's not Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, sorry. Who's that? Third Eye Blind. That's Third Eye Blind. Sorry.
And I'm so into it. So into it that I'm ruining the song for like everyone around us.
Yeah.
Josh is like, dude, you were like, and we're close enough. Like even the band members are like pointing, like, oh, we see somebody enjoying the songs. The people behind us were like so annoyed that I wouldn't sit down because we're like on the floor level. It was so fun. And then we just left. The second Goo Goo Dolls were done, I was like, I'm not here to see Train.
Yeah.
Everyone else there to see Train. I'm like, nah,
That's so funny.
I'm Goo Goo for
Fuck
life.
your Drops of Jupiter.
I'm Goo Goo for life, dog.
Yeah.
The Baby's Black Balloons were bouncing around for songs, tons of different songs, like Beach Balls. I'm telling you, the whole thing was a treat for me.
Yeah.
And I love the Goo Goo Dolls. I love you for life. Big shout out. And I'm going to come see you guys when you're on tour again, when you're the headliners, which I think is coming up soon. I don't remember when, but I was very, very upset with that crowd in Santa Barbara. They deserved more. That's the thing, man. Sometimes the openers just don't get no love like they deserve. And
I've been to a number of concerts where the opener was my favorite part.
Oh, really?
I went to a show at Washington State University.
Okay.
I went and saw Big Sean.
What city is Washington State?
Pullman.
Where's Cleellum?
That's like in the mountains, like past like Snoqualmie, like near Snoqualmie.
Oh, really?
It's like central Washington. It's Cleellum.
I'm doing Russell Wilson's golf tournament next week. I think it's in Cleellum.
Yeah, so it's probably like a Snoqualmie something.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Golf course.
I didn't know where.
But yeah, I went and saw Big Sean. Because I was just visiting my friend in college. Like I didn't go there to see Big Sean. I was there to have a weekend with my friend, and they were there. And the opener was a lesser known rapper who I liked, and I enjoy. His name's Sci-Hi the Prince.
Nice, great name.
He writes for Kanye West.
Holy.
So like a lot of good Kanye West's good stuff is actually from Sci-Hi. He's really good, and he put on a better show than Big Sean.
Really?
Big Sean fell into the audience. And it like was on like World Star, and I was like, "Oh my god, I was there!"
I want to see that.
Yeah, we can probably find it. But
yeah,
yeah. And he's like pandering to this very small crowd because it was just in like they don't have like a big theater at Wazoo, so it was just kind of like in a weird small room, and like he was like, "Fuck the Huskies." I was like, "All right."
Yeah, that's a bad look.
Well, they were like, "Yeah," because it was all Cougars.
Oh, I see. But what is he?
State.
Why, he's not a Cougar fan.
I know, he's just pandering.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
It's a bad look.
But I'm a Husky fan. So I was like, hey, man.
Yeah, it's a bad look, though. Like, I've always told people, like, so when I lived in Seattle, I'd always say, like, listen, you should say, fuck the Huskies when you're playing the Huskies.
Yeah.
But when the Huskies are playing, like, Clemson, go Huskies. They're Washington. Like, that's your...
And this is...
They're not your rival enemy.
So a lot of people might, anyone from not Washington or whatever knows anything about the Washington State Cougars, they do have a really big, there's the flag behind College Game Day every week. Like College Game Day finally went to Pullman this year, and it was like a big deal. It was awesome. Great. Washington State alumni and students are very, very proud of their school and everything. They take so much identity as a Cougar, but it doesn't end when they leave.
Yeah.
That's what's really strange. For a lot of people I know, including some of my cousins, like they're so diehard, like Washington State. It's like,
but you know what's interesting?
You need to find identity now.
Right.
That you're not in college.
I actually don't mind that though, because I think, have you traveled a lot, like around America?
No.
Okay, so when you go to the South, you'll find that.
Yeah.
Like the South, like there'll be people who everything in their home is like Roll Tide, like Alabama, like everything. So they have, oh, here it is. Oh no. Did he break his leg?
No, he gets back on set and he like jokes about it. But.
Yeah, so like you'll meet someone who's got like Alabama. They can't own a mug unless it's an Alabama mug.
Yeah, Roll Tide.
They got a shirt, it's an Alabama shirt. They're I got a laptop. Do you have a case I can put it in that's Alabama, like everything? And you're like, oh, when'd you go? They're like, oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even go there? So like I kind of do appreciate that a little bit, that like Wazoo is like that, if that's what they're really like. Because I feel like that is a college football theme.
Yeah. Well, it's just this like school pride. I'm just like, all right, it's cool. But then it's like playing the fight song to their unborn baby type stuff. Like,
it's a very simple-minded.
And it's like, my best friend, he went there, and I was like, get ready when you have your first child. Like your friends who went to school with you, they're gonna get you the Wazoo onesie, and they're like, I'm just like,
They needed a club.
leave it alone.
It's what Nazis do.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
It's what Bloods do. It's what feminists do. You're just so excited to have a club.
Yeah.
Look at my club.
And
Ooh,
it's
you know, I'm a flat earther.
and
I only hang out with flat earthers.
Yeah, and especially speaking of like sports rivalries too, like they have this like little brother complex compared to University of Washington, and that bugs them that we don't like University of Washington fans are just like, yeah, all right. Like I root for Wazoo when they're not playing the Huskies, and they hate that.
Yeah, they can't understand.
And we don't even consider them our rival. Like our rival is the Oregon Ducks. And
Same state.
They're like, fuck you. Like, because they want, they have this little brother.
That's why Boston sports fans can be so obnoxious now. It's because they lived in New York's shadow for so long.
Yeah.
And they didn't even, but like their dads and their daddies and those daddies all lived in the shadow of New York Yankees and the, you know, so.
Yeah. But go Cougs,
Go Cougs, dog.
I'm down with
Next week I'll have some good stories because I'll be doing Russell Wilson's golf tournament.
Nice.
I'll give you a little context to this, and I think you might know this. So I did a TV show called I Can Do That with Sierra. This when Sierra was newly dating Russell Wilson, and she would always hear me tell all these stories about Seattle sports and how I think all the so-and-sos are gods, and I'll always be loyal to Russell Wilson because he took us to a Super Bowl and I love him to death. And then Sierra one day was just like, hey, come to my green room. And I was like, she's never invited me to her green room. Like, you know, we all have our separate green rooms on that show, but like the girls' green room is like where the makeup artists, you know, they're like, also like if you wanted to see one of the girls, you would like meet them in this, you know, out. Never did the guys ever go in the girls' green rooms. She goes, come down to my green room. And I was like, what do you know, we can rehearse like in a little bit, like whatever. She goes, just come to my green room. And then she goes, but come like by yourself. And I was like, she's obviously not hitting on me, but that's pretty inappropriate texts. Like, I don't know what. So I'm like, this is strange, you know, because I know it's not like that, but this is kind of what it reads like. And I go in her green room. She goes, hey, I knock. I go, hey, it's Jeff. And she goes, you by yourself? And I was like, yeah. And then she goes, all right, just say. And then she comes out and she lets me in. She goes, hey. And I was like, what is going on? This is like very unlike anything. And I get in there and Russell Wilson's in there. Yeah. And I was like, I just couldn't, I turned into like a little kid. I was like, oh my God, like the biggest fan. And she goes, yeah, that's why I didn't want you to bring anyone. I know, like, you know, I didn't, you know, nobody knows that Russ is here right now because he just, you know, whatever. And so I get to meet Russell Wilson. It was so cool. He was so nice and so generous and awesome. And we joked around a little bit. And then I left. And then she's like, I just knew you were like, you love Seattle sports. I was like, I can't have Russell here without you meeting him. So I was like, oh, that's the first time I ever met him. And then later that week, like we all went to like a big dinner and then he was there. And so then he was like, get my number from his guy at the time was a guy named Matt. He's like, get my number from Matt. And you know, if you're ever in Seattle, you want to hang out or want to go to a game. And he was like, so nice. And then that happened. We went to some games. I had like dinners with him and CC and all these different things. And I actually felt a lot of pride in the fact that I was friends with Russell Wilson. And I think a lot of my friends from back home thought it was very cool that I was friends with Russell Wilson. They'd be like, oh, you know, Jeff Dye's hanging out with Russell. I felt a lot of hometown pride in that. Yeah. And then somewhere along the lines, like it was the second time I did the Tonight Show. I was like, send him a text like, hey, I'm doing the Tonight Show again tonight. You guys should tune in. No reply. Everyone else sent me like all these things, you know, and Russ never replied. And I thought that was strange. I was like, I don't know. He's busy as hell. I don't know. And so then a week later, I was like, hey, I'm coming back up to Seattle. If you guys want tickets or if you guys are doing anything, I'd love to see you guys, blah, blah, blah. No reply. I was like, all right, so this is the second time he hasn't replied. And so then after that, I sent him another one like a month later, and then a month later, just nothing. Probably like 10 messages, all like a month apart, no reply. I wasn't asking for anything. I didn't do anything wrong. Nothing. And it like made me so like sad. Yeah. It's like, what did I do? Like, and I don't think I did anything. I think he just got, you know, big famous guy, and he kind of trimmed the fat on who he needed to be friends with and who he didn't.
Well, I had an audition yesterday for a commercial with him. Oh yeah. So if I book it, I'm gonna fucking
no. Here's the
I'm
thing.
Gonna poke him in his chest, and I'm gonna say, "You listen here."
I think if you asked Russell Wilson today, like, "Hey, do you know Jeff Dye?" He'd be like, "Oh, I love that guy." He's just like, you know, when you get to a certain level, you've got to decide who's in the circle and who's not. And like we met like a few times. Yeah. So Russell Wilson's having a celebrity golf tournament. He does it every year. And I have a bunch of friends who work it. Like they're like one of the sponsored people, like the Fat Scooter guys, or my buddy Preston Pohl is friends with Russell Wilson, and he's going to be like the musician for the thing. He sings really good. He's on The Voice. And Preston Pohl was like, you know, I could just ask Russ if you can be at his tournament. Like if you can get an invite. And I was like, oh, that'd be great. It'd be good for my ego to like rekindle that friendship because I feel kind of weird about it. And then I also asked Drew, it was from Fast Scooter, to say, you should reach out to them and see if like they'll have me at Russ's Golf. So now I got 2 people asking. So the 2 people both get back to me like, I didn't talk to Russ, but I talked to the person. They said it's just too late notice because there's like, they've already planned everything. Everything's organized. So just last week, I'm just sitting in my room and I'm like, what am I doing? Asking Preston Pole and my buddy Drew to like go out on a limb and text the coordinator or whatever. I know Sierra. Like Sierra's never not replied to a text. She's like the sweetest person in the world. I was like, what am I doing? So I just go, Sierra, it'd be good to see you guys. I miss you. I hope you're well. I know Russ has got like the golf tournament coming up. I hope it's not too late, but I would love to come. And then she replied immediately like, hey doll, it'd be good to see you. I'll set up something. I'll set up an email right now. She immediately sends an email introducing me to the woman that I'm sure my 2 friends asked. Say, hey, this is Jeff Dye. He wants to be a part of the golf tournament. Make sure he's all taken care of. And now they're flying me. They're putting me up.
Wow.
So like, I was like, what? Like, why did I just go to the top?
Yeah.
If you know Michelle Obama, don't ask
Yeah, right.
a couple of state representatives.
Right.
Just go to Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
And so anyways, we'll see how that shakes down. It's going to be really fun. I'm excited to go up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I don't know who else is going to be there, but I imagine you could probably find that somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a website.
Yeah. But I'm excited. So stay tuned for those stories. They're going to be great. Those will probably be 2 episodes from now because it's going to be next week. But we got another episode coming out for you. You got anything you want to plug, dude?
I'm just, working on a lot of stuff.
Nice.
It's a lot of stuff in the works. It's,
Me too.
how it goes. Like a lot of stuff. I'm just waiting for the other foot to fall.
We're in that in between.
It's a tough place to be in, yeah. But just working on a lot of stuff. So if you love the gaming stuff, we're going to have more of that. So there's Screen Peekers for you on YouTube, youtube.com/Screen Peekers. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.
A lot of people want to know if you're, if things have escalated relationship wise, or if you and Goon have like kind of taken it to the next level.
Yeah, we're not ready to go public yet.
Oh, okay. But you guys have been staying in touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
That dog we've got to make a GIF. Do you know how to make a GIF of like him like just going all over you?
Yeah.
He was just licking the heck out of you.
He was, yeah.
It was the best.
It's a good old boy.
Good looking dog. You pulled a good dog. Dog couldn't care much about me.
He's an
just
ugly dog.
farting
What are you
over
talking
him.
about?
He's the best.
He's the ugliest dog I've ever seen, but he's cute.
For me, I'm going to be at the... I'm trying to think. I'm doing actually a show tonight that you can come to. It's
no, they can't because this is not live.
No, but this will be on Wednesday, and it's that night.
I thought you...
Tonight, it's in It's on Sunset Boulevard. It's called the. Let me see here. Let's see.
Sycamore.
I have the flyer.
Sycamore Tavern.
No, it's Gosh, it's taking forever. I have a show tonight. If you go to my Instagram at Jeff Dye, you can find out where the show is. But it's in Hollywood, and it's a charity show. It's a benefit show, but it'll be a really fun gig. Krista Allen is booking it, but she won't be there. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that she won't be there, but she won't. And then a lot of good people are on that show. It's gonna be a real fun show coming down. It's like right in Hollywood, and I think it starts at 10 o'clock. And then this weekend I'm not on the road, so you won't see me. Then I'm doing Russell's thing. And then the next week, which you'll also hear me plug on the next episode, I'm in Cedar Rapids, Iowa at Penguins Comedy Club. So look up those. If you're anywhere near Iowa, come check me out. But we love you guys. Thanks so much.
Friendship.
All right, you guys, that was episode 63. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if you'd like to watch the podcast, go to patreon.com/Jeff Dye. $10 a month gets you unlimited free stand-up comedy club tickets. And you get to watch this, which is way, way, way better now that we have the HD cameras and we know what we're doing. We love you guys. Next week, big announcement, don't forget. And if you are listening for free on iTunes or any of these other places, we love you as well. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Catch you next week. Peace.